Welcome to the greatest podcast you've never heard of. We are WJWTAW. I'm Mr. Mediocre. He is Colin, and he is Batch, and we just want to talk about wrestling. And what a week it's been. I want to start off real quick with just some local wrestling news to really just date this episode for you. First of all, we got a new follow. Of course, they debuted a new title belt right after we graded all the title belts.
Because of our podcast, specifically.
Maybe that's it.
Because of our podcast. It's because of the podcast. I'm telling you.
So let's go ahead and follow up with last week's episode and grade it real quick. You all saw it real close and well, right? What do you think of it?
That's a pretty belt.
Colin?
Shit's garbage.
I'm kind of not feeling it for this. I mean, it's okay though. Hang on, let me backtrack a little bit. I like it more than normal, but not that much for the same reasons. They took, obviously, which was the big gold belt, and they put a big logo on it.
It could look a lot worse. They could have fucked it up even
more.
No,
you're right. It could have been a lot worse. So
it could have been so much worse.
They could have brought back the red Universal belt.
Here's my problem with the whole thing. It's not the fact that belt is trash. It looks pretty. Don't get me wrong. It looks fucking pretty. But the reason why they have it is garbage. And I'll tell you this right now.
I agree.
The reason why they have that belt is because what I think they're going to give that belt to Cody Rhodes at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia.
That's Cody's belt.
That is Cody Rhodes' belt. The bullshit is nobody is going to dethrone Roman. He's going to go He's going to go down for that 1,000-day road at least, and that's bullshit. And I hate that. Makes me not like Cody Rhodes even more. And I know he's behind that bullshit. And
I'll tell you exactly why.
It pisses me off.
How is he behind that bullshit?
I'll tell you exactly what's behind it. What's the reason why they're doing this? And it feels very short-sighted. Somebody had put it on one of the wrestling YouTubers, put it up as this is network interference. This is the network saying we want more title belt interaction on the shows, and they have Roman Reigns being the I only wrestle on the pay-per-views. Really, I believe the champion should be. Mm. The way I see it is you should present a challenger with your weekly shows to fight Reigns at your bigger shows. He doesn't need to wrestle every week for the title. I don't even really want that. Maybe he could show up a little bit more, but that's fine.
I don't care about that. Here's what I care about is that this fucking belt is made for Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has had his eye on a belt, and now WWE doesn't want Roman to lose the belt. So Cody Rhodes is going to throw a fucking baby fit, and he's going to be like, I need a fucking championship, so I need you to make me one. And I guarantee you that's how he had a hand in it.
I don't see him being behind it. But the problem is I see him winning it, which is kind of puts a shit on top of the cake for his finish the story.
WrestleMania makes much more sense now. Okay, so Cody doesn't win at WrestleMania, but they tell him, okay, Roman's going to have the belt for 1,000 days. We have to make a new champion. You get to be the first one. And I could see him kind of conceding to that.
That's exactly
do they still call it the Universal? Mm-hmm. He's the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion. He's not undisputed anymore. No. Do they still call it that?
There's another champion. There's a world champion now.
What if he wins it? What if Reigns wins it?
Dude, I'll shit my pants.
That cements Reign as the greatest of fucking all time.
I'm gonna put this in the chat. Let me find it real quick.
No, it's a pretty belt, and I enjoy it. I like it, but the reason behind it is the reason why I don't like it, and I also like the aspect that we're kind of going back to like a pro wrestling type thing.
Yes,
all the rumors about Vince being in charge of creative and all that shit now that everything is getting sold. To be honest with you, Vince doesn't even own the company anymore. He is not the sole stockholder anymore. So he doesn't own shit. He owns a little bit of this company. That's it. Now he doesn't get to make he doesn't get to make the fucking decisions though. But that's the thing.
Not exactly. So he's still in charge of WWE, but WWE is owned by whatever the new corporation that Endeavor.
It's
Endeavor made a new company that owns UFC and WWE.
It's gonna be
WWE. I bought stock in Endeavor, by the way, and I am fucking real happy about it. Yeah,
is it going up?
Dude. Yeah,
that's good.
I'm about to buy more actually, probably.
So Vince is in charge of the WWE half of this new company owned by Endeavor, and until they start to decline, I don't think anyone's going to fuck with them.
No.
I mean, if they're still doing well and their numbers are going up and whatnot, they're not going to care whether the storyline's good or shit. They're just going to say, dude's making money. But when it starts to go down,
that's when
he's going to have someone to answer to, which is really why it's shocking to me that he sold the company to begin with.
And that's going to be interesting like 6 months to a year from now. So what happens when Endeavor says, hey, we don't like this? Or, hey, what if you kind of did this? And Vince's going to just say, like, middle, fuck you, nobody tells me what to do.
They're going to say, you're out then.
Are they?
Because they own his job.
We'll see.
He can still be shareholder. He can still make money on the show, but he can't run the show anymore. I mean, if you do good, your boss is going to leave you. But as soon as you start fucking up, the boss is going to say, change this. I don't care what job you're in.
Well, supposedly we had them rewrite the scripts on Raw on Mondays, so.
But that didn't have anything to do with Vince. I think what that was more of like a shake-up to everybody. It was like, get your shit together, and we're selling our shit, so we want to do what we want to do still. Get your shit together, otherwise people are going to start getting pissed, and they're going to start changing shit because we don't own this company anymore. Like, the UFC basically owns it. Like, whatever that merger is, that's who owns it.
Yeah.
Stockholders own that company now. Vince McMahon does not own that company anymore. Stockholders own that company. And if people start getting pissed off and the stock starts to drop, that's when we're going to see a lot of shit where it's like, Omos is going to be the fucking world champion. Guaranteed.
You're going to watch it go down so fast.
And that's what I'm worried about. I also worry that this new belt is for Omos.
This new belt does feel very short-sighted.
It does.
I don't like it. The design is okay. It's reminiscent of the gold belt, but honestly, if you're going to make a belt reminiscent of the gold belt, just use the gold fucking belt. You own it. Why not just use that and say, look at this long lineage, and then Cody could win the belt that his dad had. Wouldn't that be a cool story, too?
Come on,
guys.
Cody wins it and changes it to the big gold belt.
You know, wrestling's not that fucking hard, guys. They could do better than this. I don't understand why they make it harder than it has to be. And just smear their fucking logo all over the place.
It's because they can make money off that belt, bro.
Dude, they can make money off the belt anyway.
Someone needs to make a meme of like Triple H pulling up the second he pulled up the sheet, just have the 24/7 title back.
Well, okay, I just put a meme in the wrestling chat. Check it out real quick. You see exactly that's kind of where it's going.
How do I get to that?
Yeah, that's funny.
Like, what if Roman Reigns wins this one, and then next year they're like, okay, we're going to unveil another belt for the draft, and then he wins that one too. And he's just Ultimo Dragon holding 5 belts at a time.
It would be the ultimate dick move is that they create a new title so Roman doesn't have to compete on it both shows, and then Roman wins that one too as a fuck you, I'm the tribal chief.
He's just going to have like the bloodline. Each dude just comes out holding a belt of his.
Yes.
Right.
So anyway, and that was news that happened right after the fact.
That's who should have been the last 24/7 championship. Roman just takes it.
Just he wins it?
Yes.
Yeah, Roman Reigns just wins every championship. That's all. He just wins all of them.
So, in other wrestling news, we missed this. It came out like the day after we recorded last week. But kayfabe is not dead, boys and girls.
Hmm.
The $1 Million Man had a son.
Yes.
The about the $500 prince has been charged with what, embezzlement?
Legacy's own.
Like, the $1 Million Man's son, Ted DiBiase Jr., was charged with money like embezzlement in the realm of like $1 million or so.
No.
Yeah. Let me find the exact story real quick.
Not him, dude.
Like, what else was
part
he
of
doing?
fucking. What was his
Legacy?
What faction was he?
Legacy. Yeah,
bro.
He was in Legacy with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes.
Tight. What happened to him, man?
DiBiase Jr. Well, he sucked as a wrestler.
DiBiase.
Stole millions. Here it is. Ex-WWE wrestler allegedly stole millions from needy families and bought a boat. If that's not a $1 Million Man storyline from the 80s, 90s, I don't know what is.
Oh.
He was busted by
that
IRS.
That sucks. Oh.
Yeah, he was busted by IRS's kids. Bray Wyatt. Right.
That's hilarious.
I read that. And the first line out of their mouth was, kayfabe is not dead, wrestling is real. The $1 Million Man's son stole a bunch of money. I'm like, wow. The world feels right. Well, we had a topic, and then we went wildly off of it.
It's been a big week of wrestling.
It has been
a really big week.
So our topic was underrated wrestlers, right?
Yeah, and the way I want to do it is I want to do like underrated from like the golden era, the attitude era, and then the modern era. Yeah, shit like that.
When you say underrated, describe what you mean. Like, define your underrated. What does that mean?
Like a mid-carder who you don't think wouldn't make a US champion or like a maybe IC champion, like a Farouk or a Bradshaw, like an Acolyte. Like
boy, did Bradshaw break through the glass ceiling.
Steve Blackman.
Yeah, like Steve Blackman. Or like Rick Rude. Or like Rick Rude back in the day. Like
Rick Rude's a good one.
That's my example.
With your we'll go off the line here. What's your golden era?
Okay,
your
golden
era,
like
mid 80s to like 90.
Yeah, and I'm not super versed in the 80s.
Are you doing? I thought you were going with Superfly.
No, he's a good one. But Flash Funk.
Flash Funk. So Too Cold Scorpio.
Too Cold Scorpio, bro.
Yeah.
That would be one of mine. To be honest with you, also Jake the Snake.
So I think Too Cold Scorpio is a little later. Too Cold Scorpio was like 90 to 95.
90s, yeah.
Was he? He was 90s?
Yeah, he was like 95.
Okay, so 80s. Okay, so 80s then.
So you're Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake. I personally love Jake the Snake Roberts. But I do not think that he would have, he never won the belt.
He didn't.
I don't think he ever won a belt. Did he win anything?
Never won a belt, no.
Yeah.
He was in maybe Mid-South? For Bill Watts?
He started that direction.
Yeah.
Came to WWE in like the late 80s, like 88 or so.
Yeah, so maybe he held a belt in that promotion, but
he had a feud with Hogan, and they cheered Jake when he was supposed to be the heel. And that's why he didn't really get, or wait, maybe it wasn't Hogan. He was setting up to fight Hogan. And they were cheering Jake instead of booing him. And that pretty much canceled his feud with Hogan because they wanted him to be the heel, and the crowd's cheering him.
Well, yeah, because he was a good heel, though.
He was a great heel.
And he was cool as hell.
But here's what really happened with Jake the Snake. Ultimate Warrior was supposed to drop the belt to Jake at I think it was a WrestleMania, if I remember correctly. I can't remember.
SummerSlam.
It was SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it was
he
one
won
of
it
the
at
big. It was one of the
WrestleMania,
big ones.
and he lost it to
Hogan.
No, he lost it to Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
He lost it to Slaughter, who then took it from there to his match against Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 7.
Because it was the American versus
Turncoat.
the
Iraq, yeah.
Yeah, the American turncoat.
With Sheiky Baby.
Sheiky Baby.
John loves Sheiky Baby.
Sheiky Baby.
Sheiky Baby's a dude. Sheiky Baby's a mid Carter. Sergeant Slaughter was a mid Carter.
No.
You don't think Sheiky Baby?
Well, okay, maybe Slaughter.
Slaughter was a mid Carter, bro.
Iron Sheik was
not
the
a good
main heel. I mean,
Sheiky Baby was tight. Yeah. Don't get dude. Sheiky
That's
Baby.
neither here nor there.
He had the sizzle, but he didn't have the steak.
Was top of the card.
That's right, but he did a lot of coke. I can tell you that.
Oh boy,
and crack. He did crack.
And his mama Joanna.
And his marijuana.
His medicine.
And the cocaine.
Man, choose your mid Carter choice. Your underrated one, though. Golden era.
Golden era.
Make you humble. Randy Savage.
Gonna go. Do I want to go WWF or do I want to go NWA?
You know,
Barry Windham. Let's go Barry Windham.
Barry Windham. See, I haven't seen too much Barry Windham. I've only seen his little bit of stuff with the Four Horsemen, and he looked like the guy that didn't belong.
No, he was like a good dude. Lanky frame. He was a good white hat baby face. He was a great heel when he turned heel with the Horsemen. Hell of a lariat. Really good worker. And yeah, I think he's one of those kind of good mid card guys.
Okay, what about Arn Anderson?
Arn Anderson's another good one.
The Enforcer. I don't know. It's hard to say Arn Anderson, though, was like a mid-card when he's always hanging out with Ric Flair, and Ric Flair was the guy.
And the Horsemen were always the main event.
But Ric Flair was the main event, but Arn Anderson was like his side man, which automatically never made him, but it never made him above or an equal to Ric Flair. In my eyes, I guess.
I'd say Bobby Eaton as well.
Dude, there you go.
Hell of a worker, better of the two in the Midnight Express.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was like, Bobby Eaton? Who the... Okay, I know you.
Can we count... Do we count managers as mid-carders too?
No.
We can't... But what if there's a mid-carder attached... What if there's a manager attached to a mid-carder? Does that count?
Like, that doesn't hurt the mid-carder, but... The manager himself would never be... I mean, because he's not the wrestler.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, you got to have the actual guy.
Do you think there are any women wrestlers that are mid-carders?
I mean, depending on the era, they're all mid-carders at best.
Bailey?
That's so sexist.
Which is sad to say, but like, look at how they treated women's wrestling until relatively recently.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, women's wrestling was the cool down match. You know, you look at like WrestleMania 22 comes to mind. You had the world title match, and then you had a Playboy bunny pillow fight match. You know, this is the piss break match.
Yeah.
And you know, whether they're good wrestlers, whether they're not good wrestlers, depending on how you view it. But like, they were not taken seriously. They were not given predominant roles on the card. They weren't pushed. They weren't built in storyline. They were the paycheck match. Like, the WrestleMania matches were always, you know, a 5-on-5 tag match of just get them all out there for 6 minutes, run around for a minute, and cool the crowd off for the next match. I mean, it shouldn't have been that way, because they've always had at least a handful of good wrestlers. You had your Jacquelines, you had your Tori, what's her name?
Victoria?
Victoria for sure. Who was the one in Ivory? Ivory's your Lita's, your Trish Stratus's,
Mickey James? Molly?
Mickey James. Fucking
Molly Molly.
Mickey James in her crazy mode. Too. For WrestleMania 22, crazy, stalker, out of your mind, Mickey James was the best.
Did you like her, like, coming out as the women's ROH champion at that Royal Rumble?
She was Impact.
Yeah, Impact.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
She just retired in Impact right now.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. After she lost her character and just became a woman named Mickey, like, she was so bland. Now, she was still a great wrestler, and I really liked her performances, but, like, as a character, she was bland. She had so much insanity when she ran out there being number one Trish Stratus fan. And then now she's just a whatever named Mickey.
Hardcore country.
Yeah, then she got super country, and she did a lot of, like, Native American style inspired stuff, which I'm assuming is in her bloodline somewhere.
I think she's released like 2 albums.
She what?
I think she's released like 2 albums.
Oh no, you're right. She absolutely did do that. And she married the
Magnus,
the only NWA world title holder you've ever heard of in the last 20 years, since Ric Flair.
Whoop.
I mean, Tyrus has had a good run, right?
Yeah.
The one that shocked me that won it before that, I think he won it from Nick Aldis, was Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah.
I was like, really? Trevor Murdoch? My brother told me this. I was like, really? Trevor Murdoch?
Dead?
He's like, oh, no.
Isn't Trevor Murdoch dead?
No.
His partner's dead. Lance Cade died. He would have been the one I would have thought that would have won a title in NWA. But no. Trevor Murdoch killing it in his, like, 40s.
That's tight. You know who else is killing it out there? XPac's killing it. Apparently, XPac's out there killing it still.
Yeah.
And
he's still going?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently. That's
I figured he'd be done just because he got a little beat up over his wrestling career.
No.
I mean, he's got to probably pay back a lot of people, but I mean, and a lot of rehab. But
I'll tell you what, X-Pac had one of the most gruesome injuries I've ever seen in the ring.
Oh yeah, the Bronco Buster.
The Bronco Buster on the exposed turnbuckle, and he blew out his asshole.
Yep.
It just bled. I was like, oh my god.
I mean,
I've seen broken limbs and snapped fingers and whatnot and all that. You know, you don't want that. But, like,
right.
Boy, that's something else. Like, that's the kind of pain I couldn't even imagine. And then just the blood. Ooh.
See, God sent me a TikTok today, and it was really funny. It was like a meme TikTok video type thing. And it was a indie wrestling promotion where this dude had a chick and just drove her through like 3 tables and like 4 chairs. It was like all stacked. It was like some GCW shit.
Yeah, it's probably GCW.
And oh my god. And I was like, gosh, if you do not want to go see that, like, that shit's gonna happen at Glory Pro on Sunday that I'm going to. Which I still have my fucking ticket for, and nobody wants to go. Which is insane to me, bro. Insane.
I mean, I want to go. Don't get me wrong, I want to go, but it's my wedding anniversary, of course.
Okay, listen. I'll buy your wife a ticket if she wants to
Dude,
go.
if I could have got her to go to a show at any point in our relationship that's, God, hang on, let me think about it, 11 years now?
Yeah.
She's not remotely interested. Like, not even a little bit. I'm like,
she's like, listen.
That's painful, you know? Like,
see, my problem is, if I don't find anybody, I could totally take my kid, which is awesome, but it's 5 o'clock. It starts at 5 o'clock. And I know my kid, he's not going to stay for the whole thing. There's not going to be...
show?
It's
probably
about
3 hours, probably.
It's about 3 hours, yeah.
Not so bad.
But there's no food. There's no, like, the only thing you get drinks. There's a bar, and you can get like water and soda. That's all you can get.
They got like a hot dog stand or anything like that?
No, it's bullshit.
Really?
They have it at the Broadway Athletic Club, but they don't have it at the pageant.
You think they'd have like a food truck outside, and they would just make a killing?
Fucking saying.
Fucking killing.
Like,
get out of any food truck.
How can it be an indie show if they're not at least paying 3 of the wrestlers in hot dogs?
That's true.
No, they are. They are totally. Because if you go to the one at the South Broadway, like you're from Canada, you'd never, unless you come to visit us on a weekend that they're having one, bro. I would totally take you to one of those. It'd be
I would
so
be in there in a
tight.
heartbeat. That's my fucking bread and butter, dude.
Yeah. So, but dude, you go to the ones that I love Glory Pro Wrestling. I've been to every single one.
Nice.
I've met so many indie wrestlers, and it's so tight. I mean, I'm pimping them hard. I've been pimping them hard on Twitter lately too, because I'm going. So hopefully somebody from them listens to that and just hears us pimping the shit out of them.
Support your local independent wrestling.
Yes, for real. I'm going to another one in June, Mike, if you want to go. It's I think it's like in not Quincy, Illinois. It's like right across the river. It's not at Pops, but also GCW is coming. Ooh. So I really want to go see that too.
I don't know about GCW. I'm not a hardcore wrestling fan, really.
Batch.
Yeah.
If you wanna come visit, dude, I'll tell you when GCW is coming. You can come out.
That'd be dope.
Dude, you can stay here. It'd be tight. We'll go see GCW. See Nick Gage cut somebody with a pizza cutter. That'd be so tight. Oh.
MDK all day, baby.
Dude, MDK all day. All fucking day.
Speaking of fucking deathmatch, that on Twitter, that tweet I sent you, fucking Masada setting himself on fire.
Oh my god, he set himself on fire. That was so fucking great.
So Masada does a flaming table spot. I think it was for XPW.
Yeah.
And somehow he just burst into flames accidentally.
You know what? Here's 100%. It's undercard appreciation night. All indie wrestlers are underappreciated.
Yes.
So thank you to all indie wrestlers for making me want to watch wrestling again. And now watching, dude, I feel like pro wrestling is coming back. I feel like sports entertainment is kind of like dwindling. So again, support your indies. Like this shit is, it's tight. Like legitimately,
there is so much wrestling. I literally don't have enough hours of the day to watch it. Like trying to watch like Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, Rampage, Impact, MLW, whatever the NWA is trying to do.
I've missed Raw. I've missed Raw and SmackDown 2 weeks in a row. I have no idea. And if you know, do not fucking tell me because I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I heard some shit and I heard one of my favorite wrestlers came back. Is that current and is that true?
Which wrestler?
Did we get RKO back? Did he come back?
You just told me not to tell you.
No.
I know, but I heard. I saw like a spoiler alert article.
I mean, I didn't watch Facebook. All of Raw, but I don't think he did.
You don't think he did?
No. I don't think he did. No.
Okay. All right. Good. Because I was about to have a heart attack if he did. Because
no, he won the new WWE heavyweight title belt. Just took it. Didn't even win it. Just took it.
Yeah. He just came out.
Going back
RKO Triple H and just fucking took the belt.
This belt is primed to have NWO spray painted on it since it's already got the W. Can we just get like, I don't know who was in the NWO that could still wrestle today? Nobody really. But you know what?
Maybe Kevin Nash.
Scott Norton.
I thought you were going to say Scott Hall. I'm like,
Scott Norton.
Scott Norton is still alive.
Vincent.
Very underrated.
In the United States. Scott Norton was IWGP heavyweight champion. Like, he was a big deal in Japan.
But...
What about Vincent?
Vincent always sucked.
Yeah, but he could get that NWO title. Vincent still would wrestle.
Great sidekick to have around. He really was.
He'd do anything for money. I'm not gonna lie. I guarantee you.
And I believe nobody wants your signed Vincent pictures.
I know. It's so sad, dude.
You know, like
I want to kind of go. I kind of want to go up to like a wrestling convention he's at and just give his ass a hug. and $10.
I don't think he'll do it for free.
That's $25.
Yeah, there it is.
To hug Vincent is $25.
That I believe. All right, let's get back on track. Golden era. Yeah. We're past that. New age, new era. What are they called? 90s, early 90s.
Attitude era.
Attitude
era.
No,
that's late
Attitude era.
That's late 90s. We're talking Diesel,
Bret Hart, the
Rockers. What is that? That's the new era, I think is what they called it.
Do they call it the new era?
You know what? Let's check it out. We're really bad at wrestling.
I know. Dude, and I'm autistic when it comes to wrestling, bro.
Wrestling.
I think it is new era. I think it is new era.
We're gonna call it that. If it's not, that's what we're gonna call it. So
or the
your new era wrestler, underrated, didn't really get the chance to shine. Colin, who do you got?
Can I name multiples because I have a lot?
We'll go
I
with
have at least 3.
We'll bounce it back.
All right. I have the British Bulldog.
Okay. Why?
Because I just feel like he never got the popularity. I just feel like he never got the popularity of, like, say, a Bret Hart or even an Owen Hart.
Oh, boy.
They could wrestle circles around him. I understand that.
Bret Hart definitely got the attention he deserved because how fucking good he was.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Isn't that his saying? I don't like Bret Hart, but
it was a good saying though. Like he had a good catchphrase. I don't believe he's the best there ever will be. Because he wrestled Shawn Michaels. We saw who the best was there.
MJF is the best there is right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I only watched one promo so far on AEW tonight, and it was his, and it was fantastic. So
British Bulldog. He had some good matches, but you're right. He never really got any. What was he? He was icy. He won something from Bret.
He won it in Wembley at SummerSlam.
Right. Mm-hmm. That was Intercontinental title, though, wasn't it? Okay.
Yep.
But then he kind of flip-flopped between WCW and WWE, like back and forth.
He went back and forth at least once. I don't know if it was more than that.
Well, it's because he was all fucked up on drugs. That's what it was.
He did have some drug problems. Mm-hmm. He came back to WWE in the Attitude Era in jeans. That was Jeans Bulldog to me. That's how
Jeans Bulldog with the
Jeans
fucking
he didn't even have tassels
on his biceps. He
didn't even have tassels,
bro.
That was early 90s. Jeans Bulldog was just jeans and like boots, maybe like combat boots or cowboy boots. I don't know.
He had the tassels, bro.
Nah, the tassels was the 90s when he was the British Bulldog and he had the Union Jack as a cape and he had the dreadlocks. Ugh. A white man with dreadlocks.
Yeah, when he had the fucking dreads.
Yeah,
British fuck that.
That era Bulldog is also part of the infamous Shockmaster promo.
You're right, because he was with Sting, and who was the other guy?
Sid and Harlem Heat.
That's right.
Dude, Harlem Heat
was
They're
good.
my favorite tag team of all time.
Harlem Heat, really?
No, I can't say that.
They
do one of my favorite promos of all time. So.
One of them.
Yeah, one of them.
My favorite tag team.
Poor Booker T, for real. He's an undercarder for sure in WWE. In WWE, he was.
Booker.
He was world champion.
King Booker is a different fucking.
That's the same guy. Get fucked.
No, you get fucked. He is not the same dude.
That's the same guy.
Stevie Ray was the best part of the NWOB team.
Duh.
You can go on a long time with the NWOB team. Mm-hmm. They had a lot of
totally could. They had a good ass B team.
That could be. You know what? Let's put it on the books. Let's do that next week. We'll talk about just the NWO down the line.
Well, yeah.
I'll pull up the official list.
But there's so much we could do.
NWO.
There's so many different tiers of the NWO.
And if we want to get it complicated, we'll add Bullet Club because technically
you want to add. Don't because that's a fucking rabbit hole I don't want to go down.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Well, it depends which era of Bullet Club. Is it the Switchblade era? Is it the modern era with Jay White? Was it the OGs?
Was the OGs.
Was it the Elite era?
So I just got a NWO tier list. It's got 35 people on it. It's definitely not.
35 people.
I definitely don't think this is everyone, but it's a lot. And we can do this next week.
Yeah, that could be fun. That's gonna be a fun episode.
Let's totally do that. Yeah, I'd totally do that.
Tune in next week for the NWO tier list. And just to give it a little bit of spoilers, we got people like Scott Norton, Shawn Michaels.
Vincent
is, I just saw him. Where is he?
Hell yeah, Vincent.
I just saw him. There he is. Vincent's on there. And different eras. And David Flair is on this list.
Dude, R.I.P.
Does it include NWO Japan?
Some of them.
Okay, we're gonna have to address
is that why he's on
NWO
there, though?
Japan started in WCW, so like Scott Norton.
Yes.
Wearing what looks to be the IWGP Heavyweight title belt.
Yeah.
And then kind of went that way. So, and it's also got Wolfpack. So Wolfpack's part of this.
Dude.
Oh wait, does it have?
I love the Wolfpack.
I don't see. No, Jeff Jarrett's right there. Okay, so we got NWO Black and White, Black and Red, and Silver and Black. All different.
I forgot about the Silver
and Black.
Yes. So that'll be fun next week.
Is Eric Bischoff on that list?
Oh, you know he is.
You know he
is. We'll do that next week. Anyway, back to underrated wrestlers. New era. Batch, what do you got?
Oh Jesus.
I got one in my head right now that I can't believe didn't get over more.
Bob Holly.
I can't wait.
Bob Holly, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, hold on. No.
Because he wasn't even Bob Holly. That was Thurman Sparky Plug.
No. Hold on. I don't think we can. Can we count Bob Holly? Because I could say Hardcore Holly.
Hardcore Holly, absolutely. First off, if you want to go by technicality,
it's the same guy.
It's the same guy.
I know.
But he got a
shitty gimmick.
He got a shitty gimmick.
Now,
he was never Hardcore Holly during the early 90s.
Okay, so
do we count? But do we count the gimmick as one, or do we count? We can't use the same person in the Attitude Era.
If we're talking 90s, then I'll do an easy one. Brian Pillman, Flying Brian Pillman.
Okay, I'll concede to that because, to be honest with you, I don't find it fair to where we could use Bob Holly in the new era, but then I wouldn't be able to use Hardcore if I wanted to use Hardcore.
Sir.
Well, I mean, in this instance, none of them were ever terribly far up the card. So if you felt that strongly about it, you could, but I wouldn't even call him a mid-card.
Bob Holly?
I mean, take your pick. All of them. Any character that guy had played were never very high up the card.
What do you think is a low card?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was in the Hardcore title scene, which was what made him Hardcore Holly. And to me, the Hardcore title scene is equivalent to the 24/7 belt.
No, fuck you. The Hardcore title, that was awesome. That was up.
It was way more entertaining.
It was up there in the Attitude Era.
He was also part of that European title scene too,
which is underneath the mid card.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. European title is some fucking trash.
The highest Bob Holly ever got in the cards, he had one title match against Brock Lesnar for the
Brock Lesnar because that storyline cracks me that storyline cracks me the fuck up.
Oh.
But I mean that's a stiff ass match if I've ever seen one though. Yeah. Bob Holly and Brock Lesnar, they're both stiff as fuck.
I bet the referee got a bruise from that match.
Yeah.
They are not gentle people.
No, I'm gonna tell you, Al Snow for the Attitude Era would be a good one.
Al Snow would be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Al Snow was pretty damn good, and he definitely showed his worth in the Tough Enough series where he was the trainer.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of good. He has a lot of videos talking about like wrestling psychology.
Mm-hmm.
And Al Snow's really good at taking apart the reasons behind why you do the things you do in a wrestling ring for like a kayfabe sake. Like you don't kick them in the balls because you're not getting up. If this is real and everyone knows wrestling's not real, but you're pretending that it is. So don't do something that the average crowd can understand. Mm-hmm. So if you get hoofed in the pills, count to 300. I'm not getting up. Like, right. Don't do something that they could understand what it feels like. Most people don't know what a power bomb through a table feels like. So if you can get up, you look more Herculean when you do that. But if you get kicked in the balls, me, you, everyone knows what that feels like, and you're down. Like, that's it. That's some of the stuff that he talks about in his interviews, talking about like the wrestling psychology behind it, and it's very, very well articulated on why the things are the way they are.
Has he written a book?
I have no idea. Probably.
Have you read any wrestlers' books like Mick Foley's book or?
I have not.
Dude, Mick Foley's book is so fucking tight. His first book, I have it. I think I have it. It's somewhere at my house.
I've never been a novel reader.
Colin, it's not a novel. It's a biography.
Yeah, book is a book, in my opinion. I've never been a cover-to-cover book reader.
Oh, I love books, dude. If I had more time, I would read so many books.
Colin, I'll float you Gary Hart's book. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I do. I'm so down for that.
Oh,
Jericho's funny, dude. I would read a Jericho book. I heard the Rock book is really good. I heard the Stone Cold one's really good. All of the Mick Foley books are apparently phenomenal.
What else have I read? Oh yeah, Bobby Heenan's book was really good.
Cornette's book was really good.
I've never read it and I don't like it.
You just don't like Cornette.
I don't like Jim Cornette. Fuck Jim Cornette.
Why are you saying fuck Jim Cornette? I love Jim Cornette. I say this every week because Jim Cornette does not understand wrestling can change. Mm-hmm. Jim Cornette wants it to be 1983 again in the territories before Vince McMahon bought it all up, and he just wants everything to be Southern wrestling. Bitch, that ain't how it works. Wrestling can be anything, and he wants it to be one thing, and anything that's not that one thing is bad, according to him. I don't agree with that at all. Wrestling can be anything. Dude,
he hates your GCW blood and guts wrestling.
I know, and he hates AEW.
Yeah.
He hates AEW.
Yeah. Well, it's because he hates Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
I can't wait to fucking clip this video and post this on the internet and tag some Jim Cornette.
That's fine. I'll fight with Jim Cornette all fucking day.
Dude, fight Jim Cornette, dude. Officially, right now.
I will fight with Jim Cornette about wrestling all fucking day because I firmly believe there's a flavor of. Think of it like movies. Say Jim Cornette only likes rom-com movies, and anything that's not a rom-com movie is shit. Think about that.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, but you're comparing Jim Cornette to like Gotts. Gotts is like that.
Gotts is like that.
Gotts is totally like that.
Gotts is very.
So Gotts is our Jim Cornette.
Kind of, yeah. Gotts doesn't like anything that doesn't fit in Gotts' world.
Cornette. I love Jim Cornette, but I agree with that.
I mean, outside of wrestling, I have no idea other than, which is still kind of the only thing I know Jim Cornette hates outside of wrestling is Vince Russo. But that's still kind of within wrestling.
But that's hilarious. That whole entire Jim Cornette,
and I feel like it's very one-sided. I don't feel like Vince Russo hates.
Cornette's okay in my books.
Jim Cornette?
Yeah, I
don't
Cornette,
know.
Dude.
But Jim Cornette absolutely despises Vince Russo.
I know.
Like,
I hope we fight.
Piss on his grave. I hate him.
Listen, since you are fighting, and I probably will cut this and put this on the internet and tag Jim Cornette in it.
Oh God!
And what I'm gonna tell you right now, he probably will ban us from Twitter, and two, what would be hella tight is if he ever were to come on this podcast and fight with you, and we could ask him that question. He's
not gonna give a fuck about what some kid from the Midwest thinks about Jim Cornette.
Hey,
like he'll just block us and be done.
Wrestling. He loves Midwest wrestling.
Midwest wrestling from the 80s.
Which was hella tight.
Which I'm surprised he's not on the NWA Power Show.
Well,
that's his
he was
thing.
Involved
He's
with the
retired,
at the beginning,
dude.
But
He's
then
done.
he had to leave because of comments he made.
Oh, I don't believe it. Whatever do you mean?
Yeah, where he fucking said some shit about Vince Russo, probably. Said he was going to slit his throat or something.
He probably said something a little bit more
he
graphic.
said something he shouldn't have said. I can't remember what it was, but it was...
Wait, you're sitting there and telling me Jim Cornette got canceled. I don't believe it.
A little bit.
Shocking. Truly shocking. Speaking of shocking,
I love you.
Why the fuck is Mr. Perfect not World Heavyweight Champion?
Mr. Perfect's dead.
Not today.
Why not? Bring him back.
We're going back to the early 90s, 90 to 96.
Bro, listen here. I thought you were talking about the new World Heavyweight Champion. I was like, wait. Dog.
You know what, though?
The new one, Mr. Perfect, he's dead. I'm so high, guys.
Oh. No. 90 to 90. I mean, he was IC champion. But, like, he never went up the card past that.
Hogan.
Papa Shango.
You're right. Papa Shango was the worst. What's his name? Charles Wright?
Yeah.
The worst iteration of that guy.
Oh, it's the best. I love Papa Shango.
I love Papa Shango.
Kama, the Ultimate Fighting Machine was all right. I mean, The Godfather.
Okay, listen. The Nation of
even the Godfather really wasn't that good.
The Nation of Domination was the most racist shit I've ever seen. Next to Vince McMahon calling John Cena the N-word.
What do you mean, like
fucked up? Yes.
I love the Nation of Domination,
bro. I don't think we could. We might.
Okay.
We might have to block. We might have to block that out only because we had two white dudes fucking raising Nation of Domination shit.
That's. They had Owen Hart. I think they even had the DOA in the Nation.
Brian Adams. That's another underrated wrestler. That he was always underrated.
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart.
Who?
Owen Hart. Okay,
do not call Owen Hart fucking undercard, bruh.
I'm gonna go with Owen Hart. I'm gonna go the same thing with what you said about Brian Pillman. If they didn't die as young as they did, I bet they would have gone a lot farther than they were.
If Pillman didn't get hurt in that Hummer accident, then who knows? He could be
something ankle, right? Something busted, blew out, whatever.
Yep.
I think they both would have gone a lot farther than they were.
But then he re-injured it. I'm trying to get Carrie out of my shot because I'm sure she doesn't want to be.
Kick her out of the house for a minute.
I'm not gonna kick her out of the house, bro.
Tell her, be gone. I'm working.
Dude, fuck you, Mike. I like this girl, okay? I'm not going to just be like, get the fuck out of my house.
I mean, maybe you should phrase it a little bit better than that, but, you know. You do use your house. Well, yeah, Mr. Perfect. He was perfect. He had the charisma. He definitely had the wrestling skill. He had depending on how you feel about it, a great or a mediocre finisher. But... was it Hogan? Was it just like no one could? I mean, they had Diesel.
Diesel was undercard. Diesel was
champion for a year.
Still undercard. You can be champion. Chris Benoit was undercard. Eddie Guerrero was undercard. Rey Mysterio for a long ass time was mid-card.
Was undercard, but not as champion. And we're in the same era that he was champion for a year. It's very hard to say Diesel was mid-card when he was literally the champion in a company where they only really had like 3.
What about Razor Ramon or Goldust?
Razor Ramon, that might be the actual answer.
Ding, 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 I win.
I think you might have won.
You're right. Title.
The answer is really
ding,
Razor
Ramon.
I win.
Mankind as well.
Mankind was very good. Mankind took a little bit of
getting
used to, I think. He was still a little too violent of a wrestler for that era. Until they gave him a nice tie and a sock puppet. in the era that death matches were like, would have been a lot more, which is weird because Mankind when he debuted probably would have been a lot more at home in the Attitude Era where he got the world title. Except he wasn't that guy anymore.
No.
So who's okay? We'll go to the next era then. What's your Attitude Era undercard?
I mean, take your pick. There's a
lot
of them.
There's a lot. WWE's mid card though in the Attitude Era was top notch.
I mean, what at the end of the Attitude Era, you had everybody that was on the Radicals. Like you had Dean Malenko, you had fucking Eddie Guerrero, you had Chris Benoit, R.I.P., and fucking who?
Jericho for a long time.
Jericho wasn't in that. He was in WCW. But
Jericho was mid card for a long time in WWE.
Yeah, true.
Like he did win the undisputed. I don't know if you heard. He was the first undisputed WWE champion. He might have said it once.
Dude, I never heard that. Holy shit!
It's interesting, isn't it?
So interesting.
So, I mean, but for the longest time, he was wrestling China for the IC belt. I mean, that's pretty mid card.
So did Jeff Jarrett, though.
I hate Jeff Jarrett, though. He could have stayed mid card for my whole life.
I just saw Jeff Jarrett on TV, and I was like, fuck you, Jeff Jarrett. I hate you so much. Why are you still wrestling? You're like Ric Flair.
He's okay. He's not terrible in the ring. He's still in pretty good shape.
I'm liking the Last Outlaw gimmick.
He's not awful now. I hated Jeff Jarrett with the slap nuts and the don't piss me off. The late 90s, the early 2000s, where he thought he was, especially when we went back to WCW. Oh boy, he was miserable to watch.
Oh, my favorite match of Jeff Jarrett's, though, I swear to God, there are two. It was, I forget who he was wrestling, but Stone Cold came out and interrupted him and stunned Jeff Jarrett and then did his little fucking strut and then walked away.
In that time, he was at $5 Ric Flair.
And then when he fought China with all the fucking
the Good Housekeeping match.
Yeah, the Good Housekeeping match where it was just basic sexism.
Dumb.
Yeah, it was so dumb.
That match was dumb. I mean, China was definitely
that's the match he held up Vince for money.
Yep.
Yeah,
he held him up for
$400,000. Yeah.
And because he was out of contract, is that what it was?
Yeah.
And he was still IC champion. I'm like, well, somebody fucked up then. How does that happen?
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, he didn't want to drop the belt at first until he was like, "Listen, you're gonna pay me this money, or I'm not dropping this belt."
No, he would no-show the event.
Yeah.
And they were still in bitter rivals. He was going to take. It was the same thing as the Montreal Screwjob. He was worried they was going to take the belt to WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, excuse me. And I mean, that would have been cataclysmic at that point in time.
That would have killed WWE.
It would have been bad because I mean their IC champs were solid in that era.
In ECW, I think Jerry Lynn was the best mid-card guy they had.
Jerry Lynn Jerry Lynn was on the wrong side of 6 foot in an era where big guys were king. And boy, if he was just a few inches taller, Jerry Lynn would have been the king of the show no matter where he went.
New Jack, mid-carder.
Fuck off.
Why do you hate New Jack?
I don't hate New Jack.
Oh, you
but
don't?
To call
but you're...
No, I mean, and you know what? For being...
In the Gangsters?
Okay, maybe this is... I'm just afraid of New Jack.
I would say New Jack was in more main events than anything, because that's the ultimate send the crowd home happy when you just send out New Jack and he just hits guys with...
Yeah, and he just...
shopping carts.
20 minutes and just end the show with that.
Yeah. And just kills people, throws
like, I'm
people
still afraid to say
scaffoldings.
something bad to New Jack, even though he's dead. Like, he'll just come back from the grave and kill me. And...
Bro, New Jack's ghost comes and kills you.
you just get a chair hit me from the side.
Yeah. He throws you off a stage.
God, dude,
like,
who
the fuck did he throw? Vic Grimes?
Yes.
When he threw Vic Grimes off that thing.
Show.
Yeah. Oh my God. He was like, I was trying to kill him. Have you ever watched? Oh my god! Have you ever watched the Vlad TV interview with New Jack? Vlad TV just interview. He's like this DJ who interviews rappers, but somehow New Jack got on his show, and it is the funniest shit because he's trying to be all proper, and New Jack is not proper, but New Jack's dressed up trying to be all proper and trying to answer these questions very politely. And then all of a sudden he's like, you know what, fuck it. I can't do this shit anymore. And he just
going back to our Jim Cornette conversation.
Acts like fucking New Jack. What?
Jim Cornette and New Jack were like best friends.
Yeah.
I know.
Dude, that shocks the shit out of me. Going with all the things Jim Cornette hates, you would have thought he would have despised New Jack.
Have either of you guys seen like when the Gangsters first started in Smoky Mountain?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, so good.
And I mean, Smoky Mountain being what? Where was that? That was like, was that Canadian?
No, Smoky Mountain.
It was Ohio.
That was
Ohio,
North US, right?
Yeah.
It was either Ohio or
somewhere around there.
It was somewhere around there. It was close to Cornette's home. I know that in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's what that's where they met, from what I understand.
But it wasn't in Kentucky. And Cornette was
let's see.
Cornette, from what I know, he wasn't like in wrestling. He was like a photographer for wrestling. For like wrestling magazines and shit like that. He was never I guess wanted to be a promoter, but I don't know.
Smoky Mountain Wrestling was a professional wrestling promotion held in the events in the Appalachian area of the United States.
Which is like Ohio and shit like that.
Based out of Knoxville, Tennessee, with offices in Morristown, Tennessee. So it was definitely not where I thought it was.
That's not Ohio.
Didn't Cornette own it though?
Jim Cornette was a founder and the owner.
He found
You're thinking of Ohio Valley. You're thinking about Ohio Valley.
Ohio Valley.
WWF owned Ohio Valley, and Cornette worked for Ohio Valley, and he basically was like responsible for like Cena and Batista, and he like worked them all up, and like Brock Lesnar and shit like that.
The Leviathan.
So Cornette did good shit, so you can't hate on Cornette. Don't fuck with Cornette.
That's the one DLC pack I did not buy for 2K23 this year, the Ohio Valley pack with like rookie Cena, rookie Randy Orton, rookie Batista. Not paying $30 for that.
I think I bought I bought the season pass.
Yeah,
so I'll have to check all the people.
That's not included in the season's pass. That's in addition to. The only way to get that,
I need to go back and look at that.
The only way to get that is if you bought the most expensive version of the Cena game. That was like the $160 version. If you bought the deluxe version.
$160 version?
Yeah, it came with those guys.
That's fucked.
What else did you get in that shit? Because I bought the $100 one, and I got a lot of shit in that.
Yeah, I got the deluxe edition as well, but I think you got a couple more Cena variations. You got some my faction stuff with it.
Yeah, that's tight. I don't really care about the my faction shit. I just want to wrestle like fucking Ruthless Aggression John Cena and Spinner Belt John Cena and have the Undertaker kill him. I just want to do shit like that. That's all I want to do.
Do an elimination chamber with all John Cena's.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. And I want to throw him through the Hell in a Cell. I want to do shit like that. So I need to figure out how to get better at that game because I don't know how to do that.
Go into the settings and with the sliders and turn all the sliders for all the AI down until you can actually just get the hang of it. Then you slowly credit creep them up till you get the difficulty you like.
That's really smart. I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
Thank you, Batch.
Turn it to easy and then go all the sliders. Turn yours up, turn yours down. So you're gonna get the hang of counters a lot easier. And then if you want to challenge, you just hit it back to default once you figure out all the timing and all that kind of stuff.
Here's another episode that we could do. The best wrestling video games.
Oh, that'll be
and
good
the
one.
Worst ones too. That's a good one.
I haven't played all that many though, really.
I mean, I haven't either, but I can research it for sure.
Fire Pro is life. That's all I'm gonna say.
The game I wish I had was WCW versus the World.
I had WCW versus NWO. I think it was Revenge.
That was N64.
I can't wait.
No. It was.
I can't wait for AEW. Wait forever.
Dude, AEW's trash. I'm not gonna tell you this right. I'm gonna tell you this right now. AEW is fucking garbage. And the only one I really enjoy is MJF. I used to really enjoy John Moxley, but Moxley has I read his book. I'm a huge fucking John Moxley fan. I just can't get into him right now. I really can't.
The Blackpool Combat Club are on fire. They got the best heels they got. They're just beating the shit out of everybody, like Shield style.
Which is tight as fuck. But I don't like... I don't know. I just don't like his attitude. I don't like how he has to bleed in every match. I don't like that.
He's a big fan of bleeding in every match, that's for sure.
I'm a big fan of fucking blood and guts wrestling. I love that shit. I can't wait for Sunday to watch this women's street fight match. This is gonna be so tight. I can't wait for.
I'll say I think I like AEW better than WWE. So.
I like WWE a little bit better, just a tiny bit better. But I don't know. Damn, we just tangent off. I told you I'm baked as fuck, and we're talking about wrestling. So it can go on
we just hit an hour. We're at an hour.
Hell yeah. I mean, what else we got to talk about?
Let's more get through another era of underrated wrestlers.
Ruthless Aggression?
Well, hang on. Before we leave the Attitude Era, how do you feel about D'Lo Brown?
Dude, I fucking love D'Lo Brown, though.
I just saw a clip of him in Impact, or TNA.
Yeah.
Where it was him and AJ Styles. And he hits a lowdown off the ring apron onto the floor.
Oh.
Yeah.
That had to hurt.
Aces and Eights D'Lo is not the same D'Lo from Ruth.
Aces and Eights, boy. We need to talk about faction wrestling too one week because that is my favorite thing about wrestling ever.
All right, where's my notebook?
I came into wrestling during factions.
Remember this.
I got a little notepad here. Let me
But what I'm saying, okay, D'Lo Brown is one of my fucking favorite wrestlers, and to be honest with you, I've seen him in interviews and stuff like that, and on TV, and like Dark Side of the Ring and shit like that. For some reason, I feel like I would want to give D'Lo Brown a hug. I feel like he deserves a hug.
What do you mean?
Like, he was that mid-carder, and then he fucking almost killed Draws.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, that was an accident. Accidents happen.
That was an accident.
Accidents do happen, but that had to fuck him up.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I would
fuck him anyway.
There's no way. And then they had nothing to do, and I feel bad because they had nothing to do for him after really the Attitude Era. And right after that, right after he almost killed Draws by accident, there was really nothing much to do with him.
Well, he had
Same with Albert.
I think it was All Japan. He was in a faction with Taka Michinoku. And
dude, he's tight as fuck too. I love that mid-card fuck.
Taka
Michinoku.
Taka's in New Japan still.
He's part of the Five Guys faction.
Whatever the name of it is at the time. It used to be just 4 guys. Then they got a 5th guy.
And
Indeed.
And then he won the world title.
That was Funaki.
Funaki, bro. I love Funaki.
He used to be, which was really cool. Colin, do you know who Zack Sabre Jr. is?
Yes.
He was like Zack Sabre Jr.'s hype man.
He is.
Really?
It's over here. And then he was doing the same thing.
Out.
Yeah. And then he's doing the same thing for this new faction. He just died. What? Doesn't work as well. But dude, him on the mic as the hype man for ZSJ was great.
I wanted one of those Suzuki Gun fucking tracksuits. Those things were fucking dope.
I got I had the t-shirt. That was it.
Yeah.
Suzuki Gun was absolutely one of my favorite factions I've ever seen.
I'm sad they broke them up.
You can't have Suzuki Gun without Suzuki.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I think ZSJ should have taken it over and just been whatever he wanted to call it.
Saber Goon.
Saber Goon. But that was the first match I really got involved in. I got invested in for New Japan was a Minoru Suzuki match.
There you go. That's a podcast idea. We got to explain who's in what faction right now in Japan.
Dude, I don't know shit about New Japan, so I need to watch that. So.
Oh, New Japan is great. Certain matches, they don't know wrestling's fake, and they just
no. I know that. That's so tight. Also, what's that one? FMW. I think that's another Japan one. I like that one. I've watched that one.
FMW. Which one's it?
FMW went out of business a long time ago. There's DDT. There's Noah. All Japan.
I didn't think All Japan was around anymore. I thought they went under.
No, All Japan's still here. We watched like last week that the explosion match that was from All Japan. Then there's Dragon Gate.
Dragon Gate, okay, yeah.
That's a fun. Once you get to know the storylines of the factions, that's a fun faction that company to watch because everybody's in a faction.
It's kind of how New Japan was for a good while. Was everyone was part of something.
And then they have like matches where like if you lose, if the losing team has to break up as part of the stipulations of the match.
Yeah.
Damn.
Let's get back on track.
So we had D'Lo Brown as the last one. My one that comes to mind to me is Ken Shamrock.
I fucking hate Ken Shamrock. I hate him so much.
Why?
Because he.
Well, when you put it like that.
To me, Ken Shamrock was a waste of a good talent. And that pisses me off a lot. They wasted.
Were you just a big Hoist Gracie fan? Was that what it is?
They wasted. WWE wasted Ken Shamrock.
So that's not on Ken Shamrock then. That's on WWE. Why are you mad at Ken Shamrock?
Because that made me angry at Ken Shamrock. Because when I was watching all that and growing up, I thought that shit was real. So that made me want to hate Ken Shamrock. But then when I got older, I had a little more appreciation for him because WWE kind of fucked him. But I didn't like his gimmick. I didn't like anything about him. And he just fucking, he should have not. Yeah, he just got angry. He was just like the Hulk.
Well, I mean, okay,
that's all he did.
The line where the mid-card was huge.
But okay, he saved Stephanie. He saved Stephanie from getting raped by Midian. So, I mean, that's fine. I will give him that, and that's why I like him. But other than that, I don't like him. He just fucking the only thing, and then he had that dope ass match with Owen in the Lion's Den. That was pretty cool.
Are you talking about?
He was the originator of the ankle lock.
Yeah,
he's the first one I've ever seen do an ankle lock. Are you talking about the Lion's Den match, or are you talking about the what are they called? The
dungeon. The dungeon match was so tight.
That was so stupid.
But that wasn't Owen Hart. Owen Hart didn't wrestle. Owen Hart was a special guest referee.
Right. He wrestled Steve Blackman.
Yeah, it was Blackman and
Ken Shamrock?
Ken Shamrock at Stu Hart's basement. And it was so tight. It was so fucking cool.
That match
and then Owen Hart, special guest referee.
That match to me, and looking at it now, feels like that episode of South Park where they all got ninja weapons and pretended they were ninjas, and you saw what their imagination made them. That to me seemed like little kids pretending to be pro wrestlers, and this is what they were imagining in their dad's basement.
I really want to watch that now. I think I might have to watch that tomorrow. That's hilarious.
That's the only. I didn't watch a lot of South Park, but that was my favorite episode of South Park.
Did you ever see the wrestling episode of South Park?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's fucking hilarious. I mean,
that was the thing to do in like 97, 98 was everyone got reimagined as a South Park character. Look at the wrestling pay-per-views from like the 97, 98. Look at the crowd signs. Mm-hmm. There's a Stone Cold South Park character. I mean, they're all over. They were huge.
Bro, what was that big dude's name in the oddities? Golga?
Golga carried the...
Golga?
That was Earthquake.
Yeah, I know, it was Earthquake, but he carried a giant Cartman, yeah.
He had a Cartman shirt on. I mean, it was just the biggest thing at the time.
Road Dogg had one on when they were the New Age Outlaws before they were part of DX.
There's your faction for you of why the fuck are they around.
Hey, Luna Vachon was good. She is somebody that they didn't fucking do right either.
Who was she gonna fight?
I mean, she could have fought Jacqueline.
She could have fought Sherry Martel. She could have
fought Sherry Martel.
Sherry Martel?
Yeah.
Sherry Martel wasn't a wrestler for the most part.
Yes, she was.
She was a manager.
Sister Sherry?
In WWE, but she was a hell of a wrestler.
Yeah.
I haven't seen many of her matches at all.
She was AWA Women's Champion.
Oh, I never saw AWA. Come on. None of us are old enough besides you to know what AWA Women's Champion looks like.
Don't
Medusa was AWA Women's Champion at one point.
But, I mean, Luna was hell underrated.
Alundra Blaze and, they were afterthoughts, unfortunately. Let's say if Luna Vachon did fight Jacqueline, I mean, what would she have fought her for? They wouldn't have pushed it up the card.
Loser versus her top.
Honestly, she probably did fight Jacqueline, and we just don't remember.
She did in a bra and panties match, I believe, and Luna did not want to do it. But I think that was with Sable, Sable and Luna, and Luna did not want to do it because she didn't want to be objectified like Sable, and she still had to do it, and she got into the bra and panties, and Sable won. And King I think King almost had one of his heart attacks or strokes during that.
I mean, I know we all love the Attitude Era, but going back and watching it, boy, that's some rose-colored glasses. That was not as good as I remembered. Not all of it.
It makes me laugh so fucking hard, though. Have you ever sat there and just got... I mean, you don't smoke weed, Mike, but fucking Batch, have you ever sat there and just watched fucking Attitude Era WCW at that time and fucking Raw?
As soon as hilarious. WWE Network came out, and I signed up immediately.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Oh, I take it back. My brother signed up immediately, and I stole his account. But
killed servers, bro. That's what happened. They killed servers.
I had wrestling on all the time. All the time. I watched every pay-per-view from that era. I watched weekly shows and all that. Bro, I couldn't get enough of it at the time.
I have, like Carrie's here. You can ask her this. I will sit there and I will watch from 1993 Raw to fucking until I want to stop. I will sit there the whole fucking time and just sit there and watch and shit like that. I don't even fact check me. I don't think Raw came out in 93, did it?
I think it actually started in 93.
Did it? Okay, then I was right. That was a high guess, but thank God I was right.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Sorry, Jim Cornette. You're probably going to yell at me when you hear this episode.
He ain't going to care. Jim Cornette is not going to give a fuck about what we say about him. He's just going to block us and be done. And you know what? I'm fine with it. I don't care.
Which is tight. Jim Cornette
Jim Cornette was fantastic for the business for a time. Like anyone, though, his time is over.
Like this podcast. Unless we're doing more undercard.
Let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up
that's
here.
What I'm saying.
When this goes up on YouTube, and can you comment on Spotify?
No.
All right.
No, you
so on
can't
YouTube,
on
leave
Apple,
us a comment. Who's your favorite mid-card wrestler from any era, really?
Yeah, any. Just say any. Or you can do it on Twitter, because we have a Twitter.
That's right, we have a Twitter. Colin, tell us where you can find besides Twitter.
Just search We Just Want to Talk About Wrestling on Twitter, and you can find us there.
You can find us on Spotify and wherever else you get your podcasts.
Spotify, and we got a Apple. We have a YouTube. What are you doing? Getting a thumbs up?
Orange Cassidy.
Oh, is he on TV?
This dude's so high. Never mind.
I just see Britt Baker on TV.
Oh my god. Bash, where can we find your shit at?
You can find us on WebTales, Spider-Man podcast, every Tuesday on the Pop 4D Network. Also find us on the To Be Tuesday podcast. To Be Tuesday number 100 coming up in 2 weeks. We're doing a live episode on Discord, and follow us on the socials.
And we just did Trash Panda podcast, where you can find me every Thursday. But we just did To Be Tuesdays like twice in a row, and we did Cannibal, the musical. And it was tight. And then we did, what was the other one we did? Fucking Big Money Rustlers from ICP. Whoop, whoop. Oh, so tight.
Oh, my God, dude, JCW. We can talk about that one day.
Can we, please? Juggalo Wrestling? Oh, whoop, whoop.
I fucking hated the ICP. God,
That's a faction we can talk about.
They were part of the oddities.
Yeah, they were. ICP.
They did their theme song.
That's right.
I said they were at least they could work.
We can talk about them.
All right.
Well, I am Mr. Mediocre. He is Colin. He is Batch, and we just wanted to talk about wrestling. Take it easy.